What's good, guys? My name's Daniel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving an update on a medication called Otezla, which I've now been taking for 2 months for a condition known as psoriatic arthritis. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So I started Otezla in the beginning of July, maybe the end of the last week of June roughly, which is just above the 2 month mark now at this stage. Yeah, to be honest, my experience on a day-to-day basis with pain definitely has improved overall. I can't say there's a day and night improvement as yet. So for example, I used to practice martial arts, used to play basketball, did a lot of running. I'm not ready to just jump back and do those things yet, but I have noticed that some of my basic workouts, I've gotten a little more, my body and joints and so forth have gotten more resilient. When I'm in the gym and doing certain types of workouts, I can go a little harder for longer periods. Also, I could actually hold my 1-year-old for longer periods without like severe pain in the low spine, pain in the elbows and things like that. So definitely I would say improvement has occurred overall. But you know, everyone wants the medication that will instantly make you completely pain-free, and if that's what you're expecting, this is not that medication. However, I have been told, and it actually says it on the Otezla website, you have to give it several months to take its full efficacy. At the 2 month mark, I am trending towards feeling better. Yes, but I don't think that I've reached the entire potential of what this medication could do. I will say, as far as side effects are concerned, I'll talk about some side effects briefly. Then I'll get right into some pain scores, which I've been tracking in an Excel spreadsheet, so I'll share it with you guys as well. As far as side effects are concerned, my main side effects over this last 9 weeks now have been flu-like symptoms, cold-like symptoms, kind of like more susceptibility to having like runny nose and feeling kind of congested and stuff like that. You know, one of the big side effects for Otezla is diarrhea and things like that. I wouldn't say I suffered from that, but what I would say is that I noticed more frequent bathroom usage for a period there. But it was nothing that I would consider severe or even detrimental for me personally. I had a couple bouts of not severe but semi-decent nausea at times, which is also a major side effect of Otezla. But it's more on like a one-off basis. It's not like I went through nausea for weeks and weeks and weeks. When I personally take Otezla, I always choose to take it after a large meal, and that seems to be working well for me personally as far as avoiding a lot of the nausea type side effects. But yeah, so from my experience, there have been side effects, but not to the point that they would even make me consider stopping the medication. I will say at the end of week 3, which would have been right after I made my last video on the loading dose for the first 2 weeks, I did stop the medication for 3 days, after which, because I got so sick with like what seemed like a cold/flu, after those 3 days I tried to go back onto I had worked up already to the high dose, and I tried to go back on right away, and I had like terrible nausea doing that. So talked to my mom about it. You know, she gave me some advice, simple advice. I cut the tablet in half and slowly built back up, similar to what had been done with the weaning dose over the first 2 weeks, the titration dosing. And within 3 or 4 days after that, I was back to the full dose. No real side effects of nausea again. And it's like, I don't know what it is about Otezla, but if you shock your body with it, it seems to cause severe nausea issues. But if you build up slow, at least for me personally, if I build up slowly, I really don't have much problems in that specific department. And I will say that the flu-like, cold-like symptoms have slowly gotten better over time as well. What else? So yeah, as far as my pain score on a week-to-week basis, I'm gonna just pop some data on the screen here. What I've done is separate my pain levels into the 6 key domains of psoriatic arthritis, which are now officially identified, including axial, enthesitis, peripheral arthritis, etc. And I put a pain score of each of these. At the end of each week, I put a pain score level of between 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being very low pain, 0 being no pain, etc. And then I add up the overall score to give you give myself a general pain score for that week. As you can see, it hasn't been a case where each week there's been definable improvement consistently, but overall, as you'll see in a second on the chart that I'm putting up, thanks to good old Excel, the trend has been improvement. It's trending towards improvement. So for example, you'll notice in my previous data that week 6 was the lowest week of pain so far. And there's so many factors contributing to pain, including your environment, you know, what you do for that week, etc. It's not a perfect science, but yeah, whereas a couple of the following weeks were a bit higher, that doesn't mean that my pain and overall, you know, satisfaction with this medication has gone down. Actually, what I've noticed is general improvement. I'm quite happy with what I've been experiencing so far at the 2-month mark. And obviously the medication is a long-term medication. It's not a magic pill. You need to give at least 4 to 6 months. That's what I've been told by people who've had extreme success with Otezla. 4 to 6 months minimum to really start seeing the effects. So I'm just trying to be patient. And what I'm going to do is keep providing updates on my personal experience. Obviously, I can't guarantee if you're taking Otezla for psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis that you will have the same experience, but what I found on the internet prior to starting this medication, I found a lot of horror stories, you know, that made the drug sound super terrible and it was the worst thing, whereas on the opposite side, I found a lot of stories that it seemed to change everything for people, like make them completely, you know, have no symptoms and things like that. And I was like, well, where is the middle line? You know, what I need more details, and I wanted to, you know, dig for more. So after consulting with my doctor, we decided to do the medication. I decided to take it upon myself to track my personal experience week by week for however long I decide to take this, or at least the first 6 months if I'm taking it in the long term. So yeah, I'm hoping you find this content useful. I'll be providing further updates over the coming months. Probably at around the 3-month mark, I'll provide another update. And another thing to mention is when I first started Otezla, I was actually on the drug called methotrexate at first for the first few weeks. After I went through that bout of flu-like coldish symptoms, I actually stopped the medication and had to stop Otezla. My doctor and I decided to pull back on the methotrexate. So now I'm only on Otezla for PSA and nothing else. And if that changes, obviously, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep posting updates. But yeah, feel free to leave comments in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, share. It's all appreciated. And I'll be back with more updates for you soon.